Hello there, everyone. Shippy here. Hope everyone out there's doing well and taking back once again with some more Pokemon trading card game pocket. Today's video, I felt like trying out this Machamp deck that I built to see if I can manage to win a game or two online with it. It's pretty simple in its composition. It just revolves around Machamp EX, Aerodactyl, and Marshadow. But I will have the entire deck list in the description of the video below should you want to try this deck out for yourself or to simply improve upon it. I'll also try to explain my game plan and thought process behind the deck once we actually get in some actual matches here. But yeah, that's enough of me rambling, and let's go out and find our first game. Alrighty, looks like I found my first opponent here. And we're going second, which is always good. I'll never complain about going second. Unfortunately, we only have a Machop. We do have a Pokeball, so we can try to draw something else. Preferably another Machop or maybe even Marshadow. Let's see what we're up against here. Alright, Celebi. Okay, so we gotta try to hit the ground running if we can. But yeah, the whole game plan behind this deck really is to get your Machamp. Preferably you want to start with Machamp and a Amber Fossil in your hand, just so you can hopefully get, or Old Amber, I called it an Amber Fossil. You want to be building Machamp up in your active spot while you have Aerodactyl preferably getting built up on your bench, and you have Marshadow in the deck just if something gets knocked out quicker than you expected. You can do a pretty quick 100. I have it kind of set up this way because you can build Machamp up fairly quickly, like per turn. It only takes a 3 energy cost Pokemon. So each turn you can deal damage while you're also building up into your Machamp, and will take you 3 turns to get into your 120. And then you have Aerodactyl being a pain in the ass to prevent your opponent from evolving, and then the threat of Marshadow here, if they knock anything out, they're going to get hit by something. So, where I don't have Machoke, I don't know if I want to deal any unnecessary damage to Machop. So, I don't know if it would be exactly smart to attack here, but if I do draw into Machoke, we can KO the Pet Lily. So I will just take the gamble on it because why not? I won't attack again if I don't draw into Machop. But hopefully I explained that with any sort of clarity at all. Talking is not my strong suit, clearly. Alright, so we're going to get hit by 10. Or hit for 10, excuse me, while they heal 10. So we really need Machoke here. Didn't get it, but there's still a chance. So the one drawback is we have no real consistent way to draw into Aerodactyl because we can't hit on it with the Pokeball. We just kind of have to poke it up and try to get into it. And we get a Machamp, and we do get our Aerodactyl, but unfortunately, not a Machoke in sight. So we prevent them from evolving, so they can't get Lilligant in here to give Celebi more energy. They can still evolve their back row, though it's only in the active slot. So I won't actually opt to attack here with Machop. That would just be a bad idea, I think. So I'm just going to end my turn to avoid any unnecessary damage, and then we're going to tag into Aerodactyl since we have a leaf in our hand next turn without losing any energy that we have on Machop. And they do get their Servine and Lilligant on the bench. Well, they can tag if they wish here, but they're not going to. They're just going to take the damage on Machop, which is probably the smartest thing. Okay, we do have another Machamp. Still no Machoke in sight, unfortunately, so we're going to play our Leaf, get Machop the hell out of here, and bring Aerodactyl in. Now we're going to have to eat 20 damage, unfortunately, but that does get us a point on the board. And we're going to hit him with a Land Crush, do some damage to Pet Lily, and get our first point on the board. Now, ideally, obviously, you want to always keep Aerodactyl on the bench if you can help it while you have Machoke doing your damage, because you don't want to run the risk of losing the effect of Primeval Law, because you don't want your opponent to be able to evolve at any given time. Unfortunately, not really going to get that luxury. Now I'm going to have to... I have to two-shot the Lilligant, unfortunately. Which is not ideal, but it's all really the only option that is left to us here. Alright, they get a second Celebi out. So hopefully, if I can see Machoke fairly soon, that would be nice. and make my life a considerable amount easier. And damn it, we don't actually get our Machoke still. So because of that, I'm going to opt to boost Marshadow just to have it at the ready. And I'm going to Sabrina one of these Celebi in. Now, where we do... Okay, they're going to opt to run... Bringing the Celebi in is actually what I want. It has no energy into it. And we're going to do the damage to it. Since we have Cyrus on our bench, we can actually forcibly bring the Celebi back in and go for game. Alright, they're going to oak it up so they can't leave the Celebi out, but they can still burn our energy if they feel the need to get Celebi out. But they do have the superior, so they may just try to swing with this one. Alright, they're actually going to attack with Lilligant, which I don't know if I would have done that. I probably would have brought in the Celebi that had an energy already attached to it. Just to forcibly take out the Aerodactyl. I think they kind of misplayed their hand a little bit. They just don't know it yet. Alright, we're going to Cyrus in the Celebi, and that's going to be GG's. And let's go ahead and take Celebi out. And down Celebi goes, and we've actually managed to get a win on the board for Aerodactyl and Machamp. And unfortunately, we couldn't draw our Machoke, but Aerodactyl did all the heavy lifting there, which is what we want. But a good game to that opponent. Hopefully the good fortune continues, but I'll be back when I find my next match. Alrighty, looks like I found my next opponent here. And we can go second again, which is always good. And unfortunately, we start with Marshadow. No Machop or Old Amber in sight as of right now. But you don't really want to start with Old Amber in the active spot anyway. And we got, unfortunately, we have the type mismatch on top of everything else. Hopefully this is a Machop. And it is. Alright, we're kind of going to have to use Marshadow as a little bit of a meat shield, I guess. So we can build this Machop up in the background. Alright, I don't love the fact that we're going up against a Psychic deck, but we will make do with what we can. But I haven't seen a lot of this deck. The three spirits, or whatever you want to call them. And a Giratina back there. Alright, so we're going to get hit for 40 here. Unfortunately. And we do have our Old Amber now, which is nice. And we have our Machoke as well. Alright, where we have the type disadvantage, I think I'm just okay with maybe just conceding Marshadow here. That thing will hit us for 150, which is not good. And Giratina. But Giratina is not a threat as of right now, so maybe it just be... I want to play Sabrina. That'd be annoying. I think I will, actually. Because them using an energy to get Giratina out would actually benefit me. Let's see which one they opt to tag in. They're going to bring in Miss Spirit. Which, if they don't have an X-Speed or a Leaf, they're going to burn that energy that they use to get it out. I think it deals 160. Good God. I didn't realize it hit that hard. But I think what's the caveat is that they have to have all three of those Pokemon out on the bench. And then you lose all your energy on top of everything else. That's interesting. I can see how that would be good, but I can see how that would also be a big pain in the ass to run. Alright, they're going to X-Speed here. Now, we can make it to where they cannot use that attack now. So we are in a halfway decent position here. Because if we take out Uxie or Yuxie, or UC, or however the hell you say it, we can make it to where they can't use that attack. and don't have the threat of it. Alright, we're bringing our Machoke because we have to. Aerodactyl is admittedly kind of useless here, considering that they don't really are running any Pokemon that evolve. But we get our Machamp out. And get Machamp buffed up. Might as well oak it up. We get a Sabrina, and we get our Aerodactyl. And this would be a pain in the ass if they weren't all running if they weren't running all Pokemon that don't even need to evolve. Right, take out the Uxie. Make it to where that that 160 now is not a threat. And they're going to bring in Giratina. Now, I do imagine they're probably running 2 of each, so that it is still a threat, but they still have to draw into those 2. And they actually do have all 3 now. So it looks like they were holding on to him in the hand. We are going to lose Machamp and the game. Well, that was unfortunate. I was really hoping that they weren't going to do exactly that. But them's the breaks, I suppose. But good game to that opponent, and I'll be back when I find my next match. Alrighty, looks like I found my next opponent here. And unfortunately, we're going to go first, which is never good. Unless you're playing a water deck, of course. But we got Machop and Marshadow. Not the greatest start, but we'll take what we can get. And we're going up against Dialga, which is also not good. Especially since they're going second, they're going to be able to get built up a whole lot faster than I can. But we'll Pokeball into our second Machop, and we have all of our basics out of the deck now. So Pokeball now officially does me no good. But let's see what they're running in conjunction with Dialga. I really haven't seen enough of Dialga to know like what you really run alongside it. Like I've seen Dialga and Druddigon, probably by far the most. I'm trying to think of what I've seen also. Skarmory's first. But they can't attack me just yet, which is good. But alright, I will... I'm going to play Professor Oak first. Just see what I get before I make my next move with my energy. Just another Professor Oak and leaf. Alright, well... I also play it into Machop in the off chance that I can draw into Machoke here. And that'll be all she wrote. Now, another scenario where Aerodactyl is not really probably going to do me a whole lot of good because they may not be running anything that needs to evolve. But we'll see what we can hopefully get done here. We're going to hit for 30. They're probably going to build up the Heatran. Yep. Alright, well, this Pokeball really doesn't really do me much good, but we'll use it to shuffle the deck because why not? Alright, now hopefully Oak here will find me a choke. And it did not. Alright, so probably means knowing my luck, both Machokes are the last 2 cards in the deck here. Out of the 7. But I guess we'll just keep building up Machop. That's really all I can do. Now what do you do? So really the only caveat to that move is they do 20 damage to themselves, which really isn't a horrible trade-off, honestly. So imagine they're going to tag and then bring in Heatran. If I was a bet, no, they're bringing Skarmory, which means they might have an item. And there it is. So we're going to lose Machop. You get hit for 50 here. Well, I guess I'm going to more or less just bring in Aerodactyl to be a little bit of a meat shield. Because now we have to play the Machamp game, unfortunately. And there's Machoke, so now we can play that game a little bit more comfortably. And I'll put the old Amber out. Put energy into Machoke. And that'll be all I do for this go-around. Alright, so this is going to be an interesting turn. to say the least. They're going to build that Dialga up back there. And because I have to leaf... Oh, no, never mind. We don't have to burn our leaf. I can get Machoke out for free. Or Aerodactyl out for free. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to run Aerodactyl back to the bench. And bring in Machamp here. And I guess I'll put an energy into this old Amber just so we can build up a fresh Aerodactyl should we need them. And I can take out Skarmory. But then, well, they can't one-shot me with the Heatran, so I think we can play Sabrina. Because either they're going to let me hit Dialga for 120 or they're going to let me take out the Heatran. I guess we'll see what's more important to them. I am running Cyrus in this deck, so doing damage to Dialga wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But I would honestly prefer to take out Heatran. But they're going to bring in Dialga, which is probably the wiser move because it will survive getting hit. But if they opt to do Metallic Turbo here, I will KO. Dialga, and they'll lose 2 points. And Heatran, even with the buff, will still not be able to knock out Machamp, even me taking 30 damage here. So it really doesn't behoove them to do this. But they are also in the unfortunate spot of Dialga won't survive a hit from Machamp, even if I take out Heatran there. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm seeing the code, but not explaining it properly, I'm sure. And we have Cyrus, which also makes things a lot better here. All right, let's put energy into this other old Amber. Or to our only old Amber. I'm going to take out Dialga here. Now, Dialga still can't KO me. Even if it gets to 4 energy. So I'm going to presume I'm going to get hit for 30 here. I would imagine. And then Machamp will have 120 health left, so even bringing in Heatran doesn't do him a lot of good. And even if I get hit for 100 from Dialga, I won't get knocked out. So Machamp can tank some hits here. And with Cyrus, I can forcibly bring this Dialga right back in. So I don't know. I mean, I think a Giovanni could mess things up here. But I don't know if there's really much they could do. Maybe if I'm seeing things right for them to beat me here. So I imagine we're going to get hit for the 30. And they're going to build up Heatran and Skarmory. Or is it 2-1 or is it can you split them up? All right, they're going to go for the Armor Fossil here. All right, we get another Aerodactyl here, which makes things a lot more interesting. All right, again, Machamp will survive whatever they do. Get energy into this other Aerodactyl. So we're going to hit him for 120. And they now have to get Dialga out. They have nothing on their bench that will survive a hit from Machamp, and they have nothing on their bench that will take out my Machamp either. Shieldrun won't do that either. So I think they're pretty much in an unwinnable position. If I'm seeing the field and everything correctly. And even if they force me to bring something else in, I mean, Cyrus could fuck me up. That could literally end everything. But they didn't have it, so they opted to concede there, which I will gladly take it. So not a bad showing for Machamp so far. I do believe I'm going to end the video here, though. just to quit while I'm ahead, I suppose. But good game to that opponent. Feel free to leave me any notes on how I can improve the Machamp deck further. I think the best way probably to run Machamp now is maybe within conjunction in a what's the word I'm looking for? In conjunction with Lucario. But reason I'm not doing that is because truthfully I haven't drawn Lucario yet, so I can't. But eventually, at some point, if I am lucky enough to draw Lucario, I will. And I'll probably try that out as well. But again, if you made this far in the video, I do thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you like it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.